Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 2 and we will discuss about semantic definition of terms. I'm Riki Ramadan Adam and my friends Makmur, Ismat Fadi Jupri and Siti Hadina Azhara. What is semantic? Anyone knows? Okay. Semantics is the study of meaning of words, phrases, and sentence. What is the meaning of meaning in semantic? In semantic, meaning is the message conveyed by words, sentence, and symbol in a context, also called lexical meaning or semantic meaning. In semantic analysis, there is always an attempt to focus on what the words conventionally mean, rather than on what a speaker might want the words on a particular occasion.
In this slide, as you can see, there are two types of meaning in semantics. The types number 1 is conceptual meanings. Conceptual meaning cover those basic essential components of meaning which are conveyed by the literal use of a word. And for example, some of the basic components of a word like needle in English. In English might include tin, sharp, steel, and instrument. And types number 2 is associative meanings. Associative meaning is the idea, connection what that specific word brings to you. For example, like the word of needle, which lead you to think of painful whenever you encounter the said word. Thank you.
So in this slide, I'm going to explain about semantic features. As you can see, how does semantics approach help us to understand the nature of language? So the answer, it might be helpful as a means of accounting for the oddness which we experience when we read English sentences. Okay, in this slide, as you can see, there are 3 examples. The first one is the hamburger ate the man, and the second one, my cat studied linguistics, and then the table was listening to some music. Above sentences are scientifically right, but semantically odd. Okay, the next slide. According to some basic synthetic rules for forming English sentences, we have well-structured sentences here. The hamburger ate the man. The sentence is syntactically good but semantically odd. Since the sentence "the man ate the hamburger" is perfectly acceptable. The kind of noun which can be subjects of the verb ate must denote entities which are capable of eating, and the noun hamburger doesn't have this property and man has.
Okay, in this slide, I want to explain about the definition semantic rules. The semantic rules is words are not just containers of meanings, but also they fulfill different roles within the situation described by a sentence. For example, if the situation is a simple event such as the boy kicks the ball, the verb kick describe an action. The noun phrase is the boy, and the ball describe the roles of entities such as people and things involved in action. Okay, until here my explanation, and thank you.
Okay, now we will discuss about the kinds of semantic roles. So as you can see in this slide, there are some kinds of semantic roles. There are 6 kinds of semantic roles. The first is agent, the second one is theme, the third one is instrument, the fourth is experiencer, the fifth is location, and the last is source and goal. So those are the kinds of semantic roles. So now I will explain two kinds of semantic roles that I mentioned before. So yeah, let's see. The first kind of semantic roles is agent. Do you guys know what is agent in semantic roles? So agent is the entity that performs the action is technically known as agent. For example, the boy kicked the ball. As in the sentence, one role is taken by the boy and the boy performs the action, so that is agent. Although agents are typically human, but they can also be non-human forces such as machines or creatures or something like that, so that is agent. So let's see the second kind of semantic roles is theme. What is theme in semantic roles? So theme is the entity that's involved in or affected by the action is technically known as theme. For example, the boy kicked the ball. In this sentence, ball is the theme because it is affected by the action performed by the agent. So that is theme in semantic roles. Well, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, in the previous slide, we have discussed about the kinds of semantic roles. So now we are going to talk about the other part of semantic, which is about lexical relation. In lexical relation, words are not only the containers or as fulfilling roles, but they can also have relationship. So we describe the meanings of the words in terms of their relationship. For example, if we are asked the meaning of words conceal, we might reply it is same as hide. And then for the other one example is the meaning of shallow. Shallow as the opposite of deep. Well, in doing so, we are characterizing the meaning of a word not in terms of the component features but also in terms of their relationship to the other words. So that is lexical relation. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, now we are in the last slide. So in this slide, we are going to have the types of lexical relation. So as you can see in this slide, there are 8 types of lexical relation. The first one is synonymy, the second one is antonymy, the third one is hyponymy, the fourth is homophony, the fifth is homonymy, the sixth is polysemy, and then the seventh is metonymy, and the last is collocation. So I will explain maybe just 2 types of lexical relation in this slide. So let's see, the first is synonymy. So synonymy or synonyms are 2 or more forms with a very closely related meanings. For example, the word of broad, same like the word of wide, and then the word of height, same like the word of conceal, and then almost same like nearly, and liberty, same like freedom, and so on and so forth. So let's move on to the other types of lexical relation is antonymy. So antonymy is actually 2 forms with opposite meanings are called antonyms. For example, the word quick and slow, and then big and small, long and short, rich and poor, happy and sad, so and so on and so forth. So that is antonymy.
Okay mates, that's all about our video presentation with the topic semantic definition of terms. We expect you guys all can enjoy the video and get a better understanding about semantic definition of terms. Lastly, thank you for watching. Stay humble, stay positive, stay productive, and stay safe. I'm Ricky Ramadan Adam.
I am Makmur.
I am Ismat Fuadi Jufri.
I am Siti Harina Zahra.
Akhirul kalam.
Wassalamualaikum
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.